Hello, students. Welcome to English 103. I'm your instructor. My name is Erin Delaney. Please feel free to call me Erin. I have a number of different roles on campus, including working with tutors and also working with the Trans Alliance, all of whom use my first name. So I find it's easier to just kind of go by the one name all around campus. So if you're comfortable, please feel free to use Erin. If not, Professor Delaney also works fine. It's totally up to you. Our section of English 103 meets entirely online, asynchronously. And what that means is that we don't have particular times where you have to log in for a live class session. However, we do have due dates, so do make sure to keep your eye on the calendar, keep track of your due dates so that you're submitting your work in a timely fashion. I also have student hours set aside so that you can meet with me live to ask individual questions. And this can be for guidance on an assignment. It can be to discuss your progress in the class. Maybe you are interested in becoming an English major. You can meet with me during student hours to talk about what that might mean or what career options are available to you. Any kind of conversation that we would normally have individually, that's what student hours are for. So I hold those on Wednesdays from 12:30 to 1:30 and Thursdays from 5 to 6. You can access them through Canvas, and I'll show you where the link is when we take a look at our Canvas page. Please do take advantage of this opportunity, though. That time is specifically set aside for you to use. One last thing about student hours is because they're designed for individual meetings, I use a waiting room. So if you log in for student hours and find yourself in the waiting room, that just means that I'm meeting with another student and I will let you into the student hours as soon as I'm done with that person. So English 103 is critical reading, writing, and thinking. And so we'll spend our semester honing our skills in all three of those areas and seeing how they interweave together. Um, I like to think of myself as a coach. So as we go through the semester, we'll be doing a number of activities and assignments where you'll have the opportunity to get feedback. And you can use that feedback to help hone your skills and get better and better. But these are all skills that continue to improve throughout college and throughout your lives beyond college. So expect to continue growing even when the course is done. Our course has two student learning outcomes, which are basically our goals for the semester. So by the end of this semester, you should be able to evaluate the strength of written, visual, and multimedia arguments, and you should be able to compose logical, well-reasoned arguments in thesis-driven MLA-style formal essays. So that is what we're working towards over the course of this semester. Our section of English 103 also has a theme. Our theme is access to the arts. And I was originally inspired to do that theme in March when we started our shelter-in-place orders. And I noticed that as soon as we were sheltering in place, different arts organizations like theaters and museums started making a lot of their material available digitally and for free. Some of them were already doing this and they just started promoting it more. And for others, this was brand new. And so it occurred to me that one of the things that was happening is that the arts community was showing us how important it is for us to be able to access arts even in a time of crisis. So I thought that would give us a really useful way to kind of think about the time that we are living in and where art fits within this time. Um, Access to the arts, those terms are both really broad, and I'm willing to use broad definitions with you so that we can cover a variety of topics that you find interesting. So access basically means how do we get to something, and that could mean physically, right? Can I walk through the door of a museum right now? It could mean financially, like can I afford to walk through the door of a museum right now? It can also do with storage, right? Maybe a museum has 4% of their holdings on display. That means 96% I don't have access to. It can also have more to do with representation. So if I'm watching television, film, theater, listening to music, and I don't see or hear anyone who I can relate to or who reminds me of myself, I may not have the same kind of access to that art. Or if I'm an artist, I can think about whether or not I have the same opportunities to share my work with the world that other artists have. So all of those things kind of fall broadly into access. Similarly, arts can be very broad. So we would think about kind of what are the arts or what counts as art and why are those things important? How do they make a difference for us in our society and our lives? I really want to emphasize that this theme is flexible. So you have a lot of opportunities if you want to address current events, things like COVID-19, Black Lives Matter protests, or the election, right? There's space for you to talk about those things within this theme. But if those things are stressing you out and you need a break, you also have a chance to take that break. Right? Because we're talking about the arts, you can pick more abstract or esoteric concepts, or just other kind of social issues that don't touch on the things that are the most controversial. There's space for everyone within this theme, right? To find something that's either maybe they're like really excited about things that are controversial, you can do that. Maybe you're overwhelmed by things that are controversial and you need a little bit of a break, you can do that too, and you can do kind of anything in between. I wanted to give you an overview of the kind of communication that you can expect from me. So every week I post an overview video on Canvas that kind of walks you through the work that we'll be doing that week. Please take a few minutes to watch that on Sundays, so on Monday we can really hit the ground running in terms of our assignments and goals for the week. I also send individual texts or emails on Monday, and we'll talk about texting in just a second, but these are very informal opportunities for us to reconnect, for you to ask me any questions that you may have or raise any concerns with me. I like to send them out once a week on Mondays just so that we have a chance to kind of touch base with each other. But please do feel free to contact me whenever you need. You don't need to wait until I email you on Monday to ask me a question. But maybe, perhaps, the Monday email or text would prompt a question. Okay, so use that as just an opportunity to stay in touch with me. You don't have to reply every week, but if you have something that you need to say, please feel free to say it. I use a texting app called Remind. Some of your previous instructors may have used it. It is free. One of the things I really like about Remind is that it guards our privacy. So it keeps your phone number private and it keeps my phone number private, but it does allow us to kind of text back and forth. It's totally optional. You don't have to participate, but if you like, and you're interested in participating, you can text at 103 Canyons to the number 81010 if you'd like to participate. You can also choose to remove yourself later. So if you start texting and then you realize that's not the kind of communication that you want to have for class, you can remove yourself from the list later on. My texting hours are 9 to 9, Sunday through Friday. You're welcome to text whenever you like. Just kind of keep in mind if it's outside of those hours, you're going to have to wait a little bit for a reply. But between 9 and 9, I'll get back to you fairly quickly. Texting is a really efficient type of communication for asking me quick questions. That way you don't have to wait for an email. But if your question is more involved, I would recommend using email instead so that we have more space to kind of write out exactly what needs to be said. And in some cases, I might suggest that we meet during student hours instead so that we can have kind of a live dialogue back and forth. So those are the kinds of communication options that are available to you. I'd like to also take a moment to show you our Canvas page. So we are going to switch over to Canvas. All right, this is our course Canvas page. I like to keep things very streamlined on Canvas. So almost everything is going to be organized in modules. Couple things to keep in mind. You've probably seen these features before, but I like to use the calendar a lot on Canvas to make sure that you have everything kind of there, so you know when things are due. So I'll post some things as assignments that you don't actually have to turn anything in for. It's just so that you have it on your calendar as this should be done by this particular time. Your readings, for example, are listed as assignments, even though you might not have to post anything about the reading at that same time. So please do use the calendar to help keep you on track, especially if you're using the Canvas mobile app. The calendar is a bit better organized than some of the other sections on that app. You also have an inbox available where you can send and receive emails to me. Other than that, I try to keep Canvas focused on modules. So we have two modules first that are not really time sensitive. The first is the Start Here course overview, and this gives you the key information about the course that you really need to know. So it's got our orientation letter, it's got the syllabus, it has information how to contact me, and if you decide you'd like to use student hours, these are the links to access them. So if you wanted to meet with me on Wednesday, you would click here and it would take you directly to the student hours. And if you want to meet on Thursday, you would click here and it takes directly to the Thursday student hours. The second module has your resources for the course. Some things that are kind of good for English courses in particular, some that are about Canvas, some that are about College of the Canyons. So if there's something that you need, I would recommend starting with this resources module. If you can't find what you need, please contact me and I will help you find it. After that, the modules will be more date sensitive. I organize much of my work around time so that we can keep our due dates in mind. So the course introduction, our work for week 1, is a separate module because it's not part of any of our units yet. And then after that, you'll see Unit 1, Public Art. That will take weeks 2 through 5. And at this point, we have weeks 2 and 3 available on Canvas. I also wanted to show you very quickly the work that you are doing in our first week. So I'm going to open up the course introduction module. And in order to check into the course, which is in a 100% online course like this, it's your way of being present the first day of class. There are a few things you need to do. So you need to log into Canvas. If you're looking at this page, you've logged into Canvas. Good job. You need to watch the course overview video. You are in the process of doing that right now. You'll complete the student survey. And then the optional one is to sign up for texting with me. As I mentioned before, you don't have to, but you can. You'll be doing a brief student survey. It's listed as a quiz because if I set Canvas to survey, it won't give me your names. And I want to make sure that I can connect the answers with the names. But it's basically a very short opportunity for you to help me get to know you a little bit better. And I can use the information to customize the class to your particular needs. You'll also be taking a look at a few readings for this week. So you have one article and 2 videos to help give you a more in-depth understanding of our topic of access to the arts. And you'll be doing a reading reflection about the readings that you have read for the week. And last, you'll be doing a Flipgrid discussion where you'll make a short video about your own experience accessing the arts. And that is our work for the first week of class. Please feel free to reach out to me with any questions you may have. I'm really excited to work with you and make this a wonderful semester. I hope you have a happy fall 2020, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.